Hello and welcome to the 16th day of a 21-day spiritual reset. During this lockdown or shelter in place, depending on which part of the world you are in, one of the things that has kept us going and kept us sane are the jokes that we keep receiving and forwarding to our friends and family. And while humor and laughter is the best medicine, there are two particular categories of jokes that I would like to bring some spiritual perspective on. The first category of jokes focuses on how we are going crazy trying to spend time with ourselves, talking to ourselves, talking to trees, pets, and objects in the house. And, there's a whole lot of jokes around that. And the second one is how people are putting on weight. Now, both of these categories of jokes are excellent stepping stones to a spiritual reset. Now let's discuss about the first category of jokes, which is how people go crazy when they're left to themselves. They lose touch with reality, so to speak, and start talking to themselves and to their pets and to their objects and plants. And so, what exactly is going on here? It's interesting to note that people would rather jump from 100 200 feet of a very high crane and with only a rope tied to their ankles than spend time with themselves just doing nothing. Why do you think that is? Because most people are, they dread spending alone time with no distraction. And this is a great way to segue into the difference between solitude and loneliness. Spending time with ourselves, most people associate that as lonely. And why would that be? Because it unravels the masks and the stories we have so carefully crafted and to repress and suppress the unpleasant and painful memories and emotions in our subconscious. When we are left by ourselves with nothing to distract us, these emotions of long gone time start bubbling up, floating up, and that doesn't make us, that threatens our peace of mind. So we run away and try to distract ourselves with things. And now, under a lockdown and shelter in place, we don't have too many options to distract ourselves other than watching movies and TV and what have you. So this pandemic is a great time to actually walk into the biggest fear and your biggest and your finest doorway to spiritual reset. Please take some moment to spend time with yourself and familiarize with what is coming up. You don't have to do anything. Just notice the repetitive thoughts and feelings that are coming and jot it down. Because once this shelter in place and lockdown is over, as it will be, we will go back to our old ways and go back to seeking distraction. And the second one is overeating and then putting on weight. And even before this pandemic, obesity has been on the rise in urban centers where life has gone into the fast lane and we don't have time to nurture ourselves. Now, one would, before I delve deeper into the causes of why we overeat and why obesity is on the rise and how this is directly the effect of a lack of spiritual awareness, I'd like to offer a metaphor of a tree. Now, think of the leaves of the tree as your symptoms, not wanting to exercise, craving to eat, and keeping, overeating or eating unhealthy food. And then the branches are the emotions tired or angry or frustrated or anxious. These are the emotions that lead to those kind of symptoms. Then the trunk of the tree is actually the past events that have led to these emotions of not being respected, not being loved, not being given space to express yourself, been put down. So these are the past events that feed the branches, that feed the tree. And finally, the roots, which is our negative limiting beliefs. And there are many of those, but they broadly can be categorized into genetics or character defect, lack of self will. Now, you have to understand that this is the whole gamut of spiritual practices and awareness we have been talking about these past so many days: your conscious, your subconscious, bringing awareness. Now, why do we overeat? Because research shows that when we crave, when we do emotional, everybody is very familiar with emotional eating these days. Why do we do emotional eating? And when we do emotional eating, we mostly reach for simple carbs, sugar, and salty snacks. Why is that? Usually, simple carbs and sugar release serotonin, a feel good hormone in our brain. And we use food, these simple sugars, as emotional Tylenol. And just like Tylenol, it makes the pain go away for a little bit, but it keeps coming back because we are just treating the symptoms and we are not treating the root cause. And the root cause is lack of self-love, self-respect, and self-acceptance. And so there are many ways to deal with this lack of self-love, but what we have to understand that overeating or self-sabotage, as we say in the parlance of dieting and weight loss, is our way of self-sabotage is misguided self-love. And why do I say that? Because when we eat, we are hoping and temporarily actually achieving feeling good, that I deserve this, I work so hard, I deserve this, I have pushed myself so much, I deserve this, I need some relaxation, so I deserve this, I need some feeling good just for no reason, I deserve this. Because in our childhood, early childhood, we were severely judged for our imperfect behavior and body and whatever it is. So one of the best ways, there are many ways, energetic solutions to deal with the weight issue, but to understand that it is not a DNA. Because if it was just your constitution, as people would say, or DNA, if you go to any places where people are starving, they are all down to their skeleton across the board. So if the DNA was a determining factor, if you go to a place of starvation, unfortunate places, there would be fat people there. They don't. Overweight people, no. And also lack of character, self will or strong willpower. That is not the case. So understand that your weight, and we discussed this, it is one of the two primary basic instinct. Food is one of the primary basic instincts that we talked about, the other being sex. Food is the way we preserve ourselves. So when we are not conscious, we eat food because we feel threatened, and we use food to take away that feeling of being threatened. And so one of the practices that you would that helps, energetic practices, there are many, is something called a mirror work. So before every morning, when you go to brush your teeth, or before you sleep, or any time during the day you find some time, go and stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself directly, especially into your eyes. Don't avoid it. Then close your eyes for a second, bring up all the memories of childhood, all the things that you ever wanted to hear, that you're beautiful, that you're smart, you are useful, you're wonderful to be around, you're fun, and you don't have to do anything to be loved. And then open your eyes and tell your body, as if you're just yourself, or if there's any part of the body that you have critiqued or judged, you know, either a facial feature or an overweight part of the body, and look at yourself and say, I love you, body. You deserve happiness exactly the way you are. I'm so sorry I have not taken better care of you. And I promise to take steps to express my love for you. Thank you for all the things you have done for me. And keep repeating that. I love you. Please forgive me for not having taken better care of you. And forgive me for leaving you alone and criticizing you and hurting your feelings. And please, I'm sorry. Keep saying that. And of course, that does not take away from the fact that you have to be careful about your food, you have to incorporate exercise into your life. But these practices will greatly enhance your ability to lose weight. And you don't have to lose weight just for the sake of losing weight, because you are releasing the weight of emotions that has trapped you and made you feel less than wonderful, beautiful, and successful. So give it a shot, and stay positive, be happy, and until we meet again, thank you.